If you're into case knives, you might have just received one of these catalogs from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And I thought it might be fun to just take a look through together, hang out, look at some cool traditional knives. This first page has the burnt natural bone with the Deep Canyon jig. They did a like toasted marshmallow bone that I think was the same type of thing, only this has the Damascus steel, which personally, I'm not a big fan of Damascus from any company really. I mean, I've never tried like Damasteel, but to me, this case Damascus looks soft. If you have experience otherwise, please let me know. Then we got this Green Scroll series. That's pretty cool. I like the toothpick. I've never had a toothpick, but I do think it's a nice pattern. Then we got a bunch of the Kiranite. I'm not a huge fan of the Kiranite. I think maybe it's just like, you know, plastic or epoxy. And that's not very exotic, even though it does look shiny. It's just not my thing. Our new vault pattern. I can't wait for this to go back into the Disney vault. And we can maybe get something a little more robust next year than a baby Doc. Although I would love a baby Sodbuster Jr. They would get my money next year if they did a baby Soddy. Then we got the burnt amber bone. I love my burnt amber bone Sodbuster Jr. Although it hasn't been getting as much pocket time since I got my first copper lock. Ooh, speaking of copper lock, the smooth abalone copper lock looks pimp. And I love the case XX on the bolster there. That's really cool. Although they're expensive, you know. Then we got Red Stag. That's pretty neat. Small Texas toothpick. Yeah, I think, you know, someday I'll end up with one of those. No Soddy in the Red Stag, though. I would get it if they had that. We got the saw cut gray bone with the American flag shield. One of these might find its way into my collection at some point. Stainless steel, though. I wish they would do more carbon steel. Speaking of which, on this page, CS. So if it says CS, then it's carbon steel. But everything that doesn't have it is the stainless steel or surgical steel. Red burlap micarta. What's really interesting about the Sodbuster Jr. is that there's no liners. This might be the only linerless Soddy in this catalog. Although 76 bucks, I think I paid less than that. We got the green apple bone. I'm not big on it. I think it's something about the shield. You know, it's not my favorite. This looks cool, the blue sycamore wood. If there was a Sodbuster Jr. in this, I would probably purchase it. We got some nice gift sets for, you know, Christmas coming up. If you got a hunter in the family, or, you know, anyone who's into like scrimshaw style vintage stuff, that's pretty sweet. Could be a good Christmas gift for, you know, $100. Then we got some smooth green synthetic. Some of the synthetic Sodbusters have a shield and some of them don't. So the green does not have a shield. Pocket worn gray bone with the carbon steel. They'll be making these forever. You can still get a carbon steel Soddy and a carbon steel copper lock. The pocket worn gray bone, I think, is one of the best looking jigged bones. I haven't tried the dark red bone, although I do have this. I do have this tiny trapper. I forgot about that, but I've never cut anything with it. But the dark red bone in carbon steel, that's pretty sick. And there is a Sodbuster Jr. with carbon steel and a dark red bone. So Santa, if you're listening, more pocket worn. Pretty cool. We got the Mediterranean blue bone. I like the shield better on the old red bone than on the dark red bone we were just looking at. Stained glass trappers is pretty interesting. Seafoam green G10. That's super interesting. If this was in a different color than seafoam and it came on a Sodbuster Jr., I would absolutely purchase a G10 handled traditional knife. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Ooh, sorry, I'm gonna skip the page. Oh yeah, patriotic knives. We got red, white, and blue Kieranite. We got Star Spangled knives. This is really cool. Color Infusion. I like how that's printed on there. Lady Liberty and the eagle. Gadsden knife. Pretty cool. Oh, almost skipped a page again. I really want to see that buffalo bone though. Smooth Antique bone. That's pretty neat. No Sodbuster Jr. in the Smooth Antique bone or the Smooth Natural bone. We got Bone Stag. Hell yeah. If you were going to get a Sodbuster Jr. Like your first one, I would highly recommend considering one of these. Even though it's not carbon steel, that's one of the best handled Soddies you can have. Finally, we can look at this buffalo horn. In the past, the buffalo horn have had S35 VN with like the cutout instead of the nail nick, like on a Crossroads. And I was hoping that this was S35 VN with a nail nick and not the hole. But they don't even have a Sodbuster Jr. We got the black curly oak. I think this is like a burl wood. It's pretty cool looking. Smooth yellow bone. No Soddy. Pretty much just looking for cool Sodbusters here. Whoa, pocket clip. I get a lot of comments from people saying they would carry a case knife if it had a pocket clip. So there's your option. Rust lock. Never had one of those. This is the like regular amber bone, not the burnt amber bone with carbon steel. This has stainless steel, regular amber bone. And then we got some yellow synthetic. We got grandparent knives. I'm not a grandpa, but I would love a pawpaw trapper. Santa, if you're listening, give me a pawpaw trapper. Different tins. Nice option for, you know, again, a gift. Christmas is coming, so it's a good thing to get people. We got some modern knives. Skip right over that. Some fixed blades. Just skip right over that. Then we got some white synthetic with a red shield. That's pretty cool. No Sodbuster. We got trappers. Oh yeah, these all have clips. So we got, you can get a dark red bone with carbon steel and a pocket clip for 80 bucks. That's not bad. Amber bone and bone stag. Whoa, yellow synthetic CV as opposed to the carbon steel. Interesting. Blue Rogers corncob jig. I really like the depth, the color of the blue that they get with the blue bone here. And then American Workman, shieldless Sodbuster Jr. Why couldn't, oh, Sodbuster Senior, that's nice. Why couldn't they just put shields on these too? I want an American flag shield. What, like, what the heck? How come the Saudis, well, again, how come the Saudis are the only ones with no shields? Some Saudis, especially the synthetics, do get shields. We got some working man knives. Pretty cool. I would also like more Saudis to come with the blade script. I don't have any Saudis with this on the blade, so for less than 40 bucks. Yeah, but there's no shield. Then we got the olive green bone. Not my favorite color, not my favorite shield. I don't love the hot dog shield. Then we got the John Deere page. My local John Deere just went out of business. Got the Harley Davidson collab. We got some military branch collabs. Navy, Army, Air Force, Marine Corps. We got Jeep. Case is doing all the collabs. What is this, Fortnite? We got Ford. Is this Fordnite? We got Chevy. John Wayne. That's pretty cool. Interesting. John Wayne brand. Huh. A knife guy's gotta do what a knife guy's gotta do. We got some kitchen knives. Got some hats. All sorts of cool swag. Smooth light blue synthetic. Hey, with a shield. See, some of the synthetics do have shields. We got these fancy Kieranite. I cut my address off just in case I doxed myself. But look at this $500 rust lock collection. That's pretty crazy. You know, that's a crazy Christmas gift. Santa, if you're listening. well, that was it. See ya.